Welcome to the Catholic Life Coach Podcast. My name is Carla Fitz. I am a certified life coach, wife, and mom of two beautiful little girls. My hope for this podcast is to offer support and empower other Catholic women to live their most authentic life, to share life coaching tools from a Catholic perspective in order to help you live a more fulfilling life filled with peace, joy, and abundance. Let's get started. Hello, everyone. How are you all doing? I'm doing really good. Much better. I got sick during the holidays, like always, which I think is just one of those things that happens when you have kids, right? Germs absolutely everywhere. But I'm doing really good. I'm super excited because this afternoon I am heading out towards San Diego. I always say that with an accent. San Diego? I don't know how to say it otherwise. But I'm so excited because I'm going to be surrounded with a bunch of other amazing women. And we're going on retreat with my coach. And I'm just so looking forward to it. Looking forward to escaping this insane weather that we have here in Nebraska for a little while. And being surrounded by the ocean. I have not seen the ocean for 10 years. And the crazy thing is that back when I was in Venezuela, I lived 45 minutes away from the beach. And so for me, being away from the ocean is just not natural. And of course, in Nebraska, we're not close to the beach by any means. And so being able to be back in the ocean, I cannot express my excitement, my joy, my just emotions. Just feels so good to be able to go back and see the ocean again. And just being surrounded by like-minded women. I'm just so looking forward to this retreat. And I cannot wait to share with all of you how it went and just what I learned. So I'm super excited. This is going to be so much fun. I have been thinking lately about God's beautiful ways of teaching us. And I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but I have always noticed that God has this amazing sense of humor and is constantly trying to reach us. And for me, I remember back in the day when I was a teacher, I remember looking at my children's faces of confusion when I would teach a lesson and they would look at me like, yeah, Mrs. Fitz, I have no idea what you're teaching us, no idea what you're talking about. And take into consideration that I was teaching them Spanish and a lot of my kids were preschool through 8th grade. That was the grade that I had. And especially with my younger kids, I always had so much attention towards, are they understanding what I'm trying to tell them? Are they understanding this lesson? Is it settling in their brains? And are they connecting the dots or not? And if they weren't, I always remember trying to find different ways, whether that was through movement, through songs, through storytelling, through memorization, through bringing things, physical things to teach them what I was trying to teach them so that they could connect it, right? And I think what I've been seeing this past week so much is that God has the same thing. Of course, he has way more patience than I ever did. And for that, I'm so thankful because he never quits on us. He is constantly teaching us something. And it's so beautiful to see because one of the things that I've noticed is that God's way of teaching me things is through my kids. And I don't mean through my students because I don't teach anymore, but I mean through my girls, through my daughters. There's no doubt in my mind that this is how God is teaching me daily. The other day I was baking. I was attempting to bake my very first batch of bread. I was so excited. We've been looking at like baking things at home and having things that are fresh. And I love being in the kitchen. I love baking. And I was so disappointed because I failed, you guys. Like, I want to tell you that the bread turned out amazing, but it didn't. It was absolutely awful. We had to throw it away and I almost cried. And of course, my girls were all like, Mommy, the first time Daddy baked, he did good. And I was pretty devastated because normally I do bake and I love baking, but I was failing at it. But while I was baking, attempting to bake, my girls were sitting on the next door table, like just on the table right next to the kitchen. And Sienna was looking at a book. And all of a sudden I noticed a frustration in her voice. And I'm like, are you okay, honey? And she's like, Mommy, how am I ever going to finish coloring this book? There are so many pages. And I'm going to give you a background story. So I was struggling because I have this big dream in my head that is in the future. I have no idea when this is going to work out. I have no idea, but it's a desire in my heart. And you guys know that I want to travel. And so for me, it's like, I want to get there. I want to get there. This is my goal. This is my dream. And this is normal for our brains. We love the idea of a goal, but yet we just get to a point where our brains do not work anymore. Our brains are like, how are we going to get there? And when we focus on the how, we lose sight of the point, which is the becoming. And you have heard me say this a million of times, but the point of a goal is the becoming. You become the person who achieves these goals, right? And so I was thinking, because it's like I was so focused on the how that I was forgetting that in order for me to achieve that goal, I need to become the person who travels more. I need to do the next step. And I was on the phone with my sister and she said, what do you have to do today? I'm like, thanks, I needed that. What do I need to do today? You see, so often we are so focused on the next thing that we miss our job today. What is the duties that we have in this particular day? What is God asking us to do in this particular day? We get so focused on the end result that we miss the day-to-day activities that we need to be focused on, that we need to be serving in, that we need to be taking courageous actions to take the next and the next and the next step. We can't just jump over the whole thing and just be in the goal, right? I remember when I was trying to lose the weight, I would tell myself, I just wish I could just wake up thin and be done. But that's not the case. You need to choose every single day on purpose what you are going to eat. You need to choose every single day how you are going to behave. And one day at a time, you become that person. And that's what happened when I saw my daughter struggling. What was my reaction? I literally turned to her with so much kindness, so much love, and I said, baby, you will do one page at a time. You don't have to look at the end of the book and get overwhelmed with all the things you need to do to get there. You color one page at a time. And all of a sudden, you will be done. You will be there. You will have that goal. You will achieve that result. And you will look back and realize that you have been doing it one page at a time. In that moment, when I told my daughter that, I feel like I heard Jesus in my head go, that's what I've been telling you. And I wanted to share with all of you because I know that we all are in this moment. We're starting the year. We have those intentions that we are setting, that goal that we want to reach eventually. But we need to enjoy one day at a time. We need to color one page at a time. Honestly, this is a reminder that I think for all of us adults who are driven by our goals, driven by a busy life, we are overwhelmed, feeling stressed. It's so good to remind ourselves that all we need to focus on is today. All that's real is today, this moment. Not even today at 4 o'clock. No, today, right now. This is all that exists. I've heard people say like time doesn't exist. And to me, it's like that's a bizarre thought to have, that time doesn't exist. But truly, time doesn't exist. We are either stressing over our past and regretting our past, or we spend so much time worrying about what's coming. But all that exists is the now. And I think so often of how Jesus showed up, right? Because I don't think God was like, oh my gosh, can you imagine when Lazarus dies? I don't know what I'm going to do. What if things don't work out? And what if I don't make it on time? I don't know, right? Like God was like, where are we at? Who am I helping right now? Who am I serving right now? And it's easier said than done. And believe me, I know. But I needed to share this with you because no matter how much we want to know the plan and how we are going to get there, and what are the things we are going to have to overcome, we won't know until it's time. It's not very often when God says, okay, here's the whole plan, go. God is going to tell you the next step. You're going to finish one coloring page and go to the next. You'll finish that one and you'll go to the next. you finish that one, and you go to the next. And then you all of a sudden find yourself at the end of the book when you have accomplished it. All it takes is one courageous action at a time. One courageous action will lead you to the next one. I know that our brains want to know the how. It wants to know how things are going to work out, or if something is going to actually go well or not. We want to sign up for the new thing that we are feeling called to do with a clear vision of how things are going to end up. The crazy thing is that often enough, we don't assume the best, we assume the worst. And this is our brain's way of keeping us protected. This is our brain's way to keep us safe in our comfort zones, not going out into the danger. The other thing that happens is that when we are looking into accomplishing a goal that perhaps we have tried in the past, is we look for confirmation of results, possibility of result in our past. In other words, if we have not accomplished it in the past, our brain is like, well, we haven't accomplished it now. What makes you think that you're going to do it this time? Friends, acknowledge that this is your brain keeping you safe. If you look back in your life, I can guarantee you that you have overcome things that were not possible before, but all of a sudden they were. I will go back to the example of my weight loss. I tried a million diets. None of them worked. For 10 years, none of them worked. But I didn't quit. I had to commit that I was going to try again, and I was going to try again, and I was going to try again until it worked. I think that is a mistake that we make with our goals. We try one way and we're like, well, we've tried so many ways, it's impossible. I always think back, I think it was Ford. I don't know, I've heard so many stories, but I think it was Ford who went through so much debt, but he was committed that he was going to create this machine. I don't know much about cars, but all I know is that after millions of tries and after doubt from everyone around him, he achieved it. Because he did not give up. He took one day at a time, one mistake at a time to get to the goal. And that is our journey. This is the journey of becoming. Is to color one page at a time. I was recently reading the Magnificat, and one of the things that caught my attention was this phrase. It said, underneath an overly cautious heart lies an original longing to risk. And it hit me really, really hard. I think as moms, or at least for me, I have become so cautious. I have to be very careful with the next decision I make. Is it going to go wrong? Is it going to go right? Is it going to be perfect? There's no such thing as perfection. All we can do in this lifetime is to take one step at a time and see if it works. And if it doesn't work, you reassess. I always love telling my girls that we either win or we learn. There's no losing, you learn. There's always a reason why you went that path. You are going to learn something in that path. But trust in the process that the next page is where you need to be. All right, so I'm going to give you 3 tips so that you can kind of implement what we've been talking about in this podcast into your life. The first one is to spend time in solitude and ask God for the next right step. What is it that you need me to do now? Number 2 is to check in with your body. When God gives you an idea, how does it feel in your body? And don't go into what is my worst case scenario? How does that feel? No. When you think of the decision, how does it feel? You might feel fear, and that's my next one. Number 3 is to take steps towards that goal. Don't try to take 3 steps at a time. Take 1 step towards that goal. What is the next thing that God is asking you to do? How does it feel in your body? And then take action. Take courageous actions towards it. Now, my pro tip is what I was just mentioning, and is do not skip over the fear. Carry it with you like a heavy purse. This is going to be with you. Fear is going to be with you. It's been put in you as a protection mechanism, but it's not a warning. It's not always a warning. Now, if you're at the edge of a cliff and your heart is like, oh my gosh, don't jump. Don't get too close to the cliff because you're going to fall and get hurt. Listen to that fear. But your fear is going to be with you in every decision because we don't know how things are going to work out. So learn to carry it with you like a heavy purse. You're just going to put it over your shoulder and simply tell it, I see you, I hear you, and it's okay. Things are going to be fine. God is with us. And you're going to come with me, and I will carry you. Not a problem. You're coming with. Welcome the fear into your journey and color one page of your beautiful life at a time. All right, my friends, I hope you have an amazing rest of your week. And until next one, God bless. Hey, before you go, if you are looking to dive deeper into life coaching from a Catholic perspective, I am looking for 5 women who would like to have a one-on-one coach helping them overcome their struggles, their thoughts, creating a more calm, more joyful life. This is an opportunity for you to create beauty in your day-to-day life while achieving your goals. I will be there walking with you one-on-one, creating a plan that supports your goal, your life, your emotion, your family, and your faith. So if you're interested in finding out more and how I can help you, all you need to do is click the link in the description and reserve a time to chat with me. I will see you in the next one. God bless.